45 nach Akla da Fontauna, Senjas, Cedrun, Oberalppass, Andermatt und wünscht Ihnen eine angenehme Reise. La Matterhorn-Gotthardbahn Benevento-Vus en il Regio 41 en direzione da Akla da Fontauna, Senjas, Cedrun, Alpsu, Andermatt Ursera, Gotthardbahn welcomes you on board the Regio 45 to Akla da Fontauna, Senjas, Cedrun, Oberalppass, Andermatt and Halt auf Verlangen. Mumpetujec, Fermada Sindamonda. Mumpetujec. Cedrun. Proxima fermada, Cedrun. Next stop, Cedrun. Selva, fermada Sindamonda. Chamut Selva, stop on request.
Train to get seats. We'll go get food. Is that okay?
Oh, I think that's silly. Look at these trains have not been crowded at all.
It's nice to get this across to each other's things.
That's true. Well, I see you're gonna get food and drink onto the train.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wait there while
You want another gingerbread milk? No.
Is it milk chocolate?
Milk. Gingerbread boy?
Which one's a what?
That's brown. That's dark chocolate. This is light chocolate. This is sugar. I was gonna eat. Is that okay?
Aksu, next stop, Oberalp Pass.
Look, here's is this a ski resort?
That's deep snow.
I know. At the end of October. Like Mommy said, we're pretty high up.
No, 412. No, so it's more like 4,000 meters.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
A lake.
Wow.
so we are like Mount Rainier has nothing on where we are. We are at, wait, we're at 2,000 meters and you said Mount Rainier is 4?
No. Mount Rainier is 14,400 feet or 14. Mount Rainier is 4,392 meters.
1,300 meters. Got it, please. We're off. So Sam, we went from here to shore,
Yep.
and then we're going kind of along here to Andermatt, which is right there. Remember that red thing is kind of part of the tip of that. So otherwise, it's maybe sticking the snow from avalanching down.
Yeah.
So now we're going down. Wow. Boy, do you see these things?
Netchen, fermada Sindamonda. Netchen, stop on request.
Here's our coats.
Thanks, Mommy. How would you like to live here?
This is good.
Wir treffen in Andermatt ein. Endbahnhof. Die Matterhorn-Gotthardbahn bittet Sie auszusteigen und verabschiedet sich von Ihnen. We are arriving at Andermatt Terminus Station. The Matterhorn Gotthardbahn asks you to leave the train and bids you goodbye.